All right, folks, welcome to the program. We're not going to take long. This week, a few things have been happening. Donald Trump again in the news. We have later on a story about a UFO hitting a plane, possibly. We have that stack of stuff here. Pile of news stuff. Welcome, folks. It is the week of November 1st. It is a weird week. We're going into November with rain. We're going into November with cold coming upon us. It is a odd week for us here. It is actually going to be Halloween and then November. It's that week, this week here of the last of October in the beginning of November. So that's why I'm calling it the first week of November, because we only have almost one more day before it's November. And trick-or-treating will be done tomorrow. I take off every Halloween, I take off every Thanksgiving, I take off every Christmas, take off every Easter. They're holidays for me. So, being a paranormal investigator, being a father, I have to go out and do trick-or-treating and other Halloween adventures. It has been very busy here. We've been busy all month at a local Halloween attraction here. I'm pleased to have been able to help them. We've had a lot of stuff happening around here in the midst of this broadcast. And other stuff is happening. So, let's start with the news and get it out of the way. Here we go. Taylor Swift's gorgeous new single, the best yet. Her reputation is looking better with the latest release. As of Friday, Kanye West isn't the only pop megastar with a song titled Gorgeous. In the trio of Instagram posts Thursday, Taylor Swift announced the arrival of Gorgeous, the third single after Look, What You Made Me Do, and Ready for It, from her forthcoming album, Reputation. It'll come out November 10th, folks. For Swift lifters who have cheered on her previous Reputation releases, Gorgeous is further proof of their queen's pop domination. Taylor Swift, folks, beautiful singer. I'm not much in the country, I don't think, but I do agree she is a good singer. Okay, folks, what else do we have in our pile of news here? Here's an interesting one. NBA team is hit by a UFO. Let's see what it says here. Getting up here, it was just given to me, actually. Let's see what it says here. Plane carrying NBA stars, the national basketball team here in America, stars hit by a UFO during Chicago descent. It has some photos of a very damaged nose of the plane. Front end right under the pilot's window, it looks like. Oklahoma City's Thunder basketball team. Basketball team were caught up in a bizarre mid-air incident when their charter plane was struck by a yet unidentified object on its way to Chicago, damaging the nose cone of the plane. The collision occurred Saturday morning during the team's flight to Chicago Midway ahead of their game against the Chicago Bulls. Pictured after landing in Delta Airlines Boeing 757-200 nose, 757-200's nose was seen to be badly dented and scratched. After disembarking, NBA stars Carmelo Anthony and Josh Huertas, I hope I'm saying their names right, posted pictures of the damage to social media, and here's the photo of it. It's very damaged. Baffled center Stephen Anthony even took to Twitter to ask NASA television personally and engineer Bill Nye and renowned astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson what caused this. In a statement to the Oklahoma Delta Airlines moved to squash the speculation, saying the plane was likely contacted a bird. And again, folks, real quick here, if I'm getting these scientists' names wrong, I'm trying to read them. I may get them wrong. I apologize for that. Anyways, the big question that remains is, what kind of bird would make this kind of damage? I think I may try to get that photo up on to our website here so people can take a look at it. I don't know if I have permission or not. We'll find out. In other news, supposedly the Republican House of Representatives has opened a case against Hillary Clinton. Leaders of two House committees said they are looking into whether the FBI or Department of Justice ever opened an investigation of the sale of U.S. uranium mines to the Russians during the Clinton administration. House Intelligence Chairman Devin Nunes, California, said his Committee of House Oversight and Government Reform Committee want to know whether there was an investigation of the uranium sale back to Clinton. It goes on and says other stuff, and then Hillary Clinton, said Republicans are trying to draw attention for this past elected Trump campaign with Russian officials. Now, I don't really know what this is about. I quickly skimmed through it for our news. It was placed in here. Who was I talking to about this Hillary Clinton stuff and Donald Trump? Who was it? Oh, Nancy. That's right. Now, we got into the discussion of Donald Trump being an idiot like Gary. Everybody knows who Gary is. Gary said, and I get all upset because I voted for Trump. I supported him. I supported him on this program. I think he's doing a good job. I think he's running the government like a business. I think he's doing things that other presidents have not, and people don't like it. Now they're doing an investigation into Hillary Clinton. We saw some other investigations. I don't know why they just don't leave her alone. She's pissed about the election. Well, that's tough. How long we've seen now of the investigation? I don't know. I don't know about these things. I really don't. Anyways, that being said, we have some other things here, Donald Trump. I disagree with his ways of dealing with the North Korea and Russia. I do agree with that. Other news here, talking about Trump. I actually cut this out of the paper. Trump's feud with GOP. Eclipse tax cut talks. Reckless, outrageous, and undignified behavior has become excused as telling it like it is when it is actually reckless, outrageous, and undignified. Trump did not respond to shouted questions from reporters as he left the Capitol, but GOP senators said the president's feud with Corker did not come up. The launch and Corker said he did not speak with Trump during the meeting. Earlier in the day, Crocker gave a series of interviews in which accused Trump of debasing, whatever that means, the country. Oh, it means, what does it mean? Oh, okay, it means talking bad about it. It's a word of, okay. So he's talking bad about it, followed later in the day by a second salvo from Senator Jeff Flake of Arizona, who announced he was retiring and blasted, which blasted also means spoke harshly, Trump, though not by name, in a speech on the Senate floor. So here we go with these people not getting along with Trump. We have another one. McConnell downplayed the Trump-Corker hostilities and insisted it would not distract Republicans from their tax reform push. Tax cuts have to happen, folks. I saw a week in the news. I saw it last week as we spoke about it. This sandwich is good, by the way. It's unbelievable, but I got some other stuff here. Will Oscar check the box for the Square? Festival favorite has already been beating the odds. And then in other news, we have some movie reviews. By the way, folks, Star Wars is coming up. If you're interested, I will love to go with a bunch of people. I hear there's America's Markets, what to watch. 401k investors unsettled by D.C. wavering. I took a tweet from President Trump to squash fears that the days of maxing out. Let's pause here for a minute. Donald Trump is tweeting things on Twitter, and here we see something that actually worked. So when you go and say he's nuts, he's crazy, he can't do what he's supposed to, he doesn't want to do anything, what's that music I'm hearing? Don't worry about it? All right, I won't. I'm just wondering what it is. Oh, you're playing it? Okay. Anyways, I'm going to have a little background music because people said my news stories are boring. So, I took a tweet by the President Trump to squash fears that the days of maxing out one's 401k will up in $18,000 in pre-tax dollars might be ending. The more thought of government slashing and variable tax deduction, again, taxes are being cut here, put a scare in 401k investors. But Trump on Monday punctured the trial balloons. I think that's hilarious. Picturing him just punching holes in their ideas. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful, Trump. You're doing a good job. To pay for tax cuts with this tweet, there will be no change in your 401k. This has always been a great and popular middle-class tax break that works, and it says, and it stays, he says. To put that worry to rest, more good news, the IRS said it was upping the 401 max by $500 in 2018 to $18,500. It is not unusual for Americans to get skittish when Congress debates new laws that impact their pocketbooks. No, really? The Senate and Congress is hurting our pocketbooks. They're taking money. They're doing things with money. Of course it's going to worry us. Anyways, that theory is also a reason why folks tweeting about Trump's $1.5 trillion tax cut over the next decade are again wondering if the U.S. will have enough cash to fund Social Security a decade from now. Even though Social Security Administration this week said it's giving recipients a 2% benefit increase in 2018, and Trump repeatedly has said it will not touch the government benefit. Listen, folks, I'm going to say this real quick. The Social Security is a separate fund from everything else. Just like military spending is separate. Just like grants to states for education is different. Okay? They're all different things. They have nothing concern. You pay your taxes. Say you pay, let's do a real good number. $1. 25 cents goes here. 50 cents goes there. They take another 25 cents and put 10 here, 10 there, 5 cents there. Those funds are not going to be manipulated. They're made for certain programs. And to be honest with you, these programs should be making it so they improve people. Not so people have to rely on them, like food stamps. You're supposed to be able to get a job. You're supposed to improve your life so you can stop using them. Or if you're laid off from work, you have a little bit until your next job. Or if you're having problems and you need help with your children, they're there to help you. McDonald's. Here's some stories of stocks. Sears holding a change of minus 57 cents. McDonald's has a change of 54 cents increase. FCA, flat Chrysler Automotives. Fiat Chrysler Automotives. Fiat, how's it? Okay, I said it right. Chrysler Automotives here. Up. Change. is 91 cents. And it shows a little diagram here. $5.99 here. 4-week trend, $163. 4-week trend for the Chrysler, $17.45. McDonald's has 163.88. It says here, fast food chain of found a replacement for the dollar menu. Plans to roll out a new value menu with price tags at $1, $2, and $3 in early 2018. It said it has struggled to attract value-minded customers since killing the menu in 2014. And why I just read all the financial information, I don't know. Got some other financial information here. Anyways, about the dollar menu. The dollar menu here is not gone. They have deal menus now where you can get three things, depending on if it's breakfast or lunch, dinner. Also, Big Mac was on there for $5. You can get a Big Mac and something else. They re-brought some more sandwiches. They had a McRib around for a while. A lot of these things. But the one thing I don't like about McDonald's, and I'm sure Burger King and all the others are doing it, is the windows like at the Walmart, the Price Choppers, the Wegmans have them. Gas pumps have them. Gas has always had the self-service. Called the self-service menu. Toys R Us, I think, has something like that now. They are the self-service menu. And what it is basically, you order your own food. Popeyes has one. Wendy's, I don't know if Wendy's is doing it. Around here, they're not, anyways. I saw one when we went down to a trip to New York City. And I saw one when we went into Pennsylvania for our paranormal investigation, which we were talking about a little while. I saw some menus like that, which I don't like. At the rest area, McDonald's, you order your food on this menu screen, and then you swipe your credit card or whatever, and they will bring your order up. I don't like it because it's not hiring somebody. The menu replaces a body. But I'm not one of these that say, oh, like manufacturing, oh, the menu's gonna, because they still need cooks, they still need other people, and they still need people on the registers, because I saw 2 people on the ordering screen, and she had to open up 2 registers because, they were taking too long. So, anyway, the sandwich today is roast beef. So, that I've seen. And it's something that I continue to see. It's something that will continue throughout, to be seen throughout. It's something that I kind of count on. It's something that I manage. Something that I have gotten used to, going up to the counter and having a live person in front of me. I don't know. But as an investigator, too, because a lot of you people just think I'm a show host here, but I do paranormal investigations as well. That's why I'm in the paranormal. We go a lot of places, and we see a lot of things. So if you have any questions about stuff, let us know. And I get opinions from people. A few workers had some opinions about the new things that were happening there, and some of the things that was going on. Let's go to our next paper. Next news here. I love this. The Mona Lisa, the male Mona Lisa. Leonardo da Vinci's once lost masterpiece, Salvator Mundi, a 500-year-old painting of Jesus, will go on sale November 15th in New York. What is likely to be a sales price beyond $100 million. Leonardo da Vinci, a great inventor, a great artist. As you hear, Da Vinci, savior of the world, worthy of own museum. In person, Leonardo da Vinci's Salvator Mundi is haunting, a 5-year-old portrait of Jesus Christ that seems to radiate from within while displaying a staggering mastery of anatomy, optics, and craft. It is the only one of Da Vinci's 20 known paintings don't forget, his definitive Renaissance man was also an engineer, astronomer, and set designer in private hands. It goes on, although the museum Mona Lisa might be more famous, Monday displays a unique radiance over that yellowing gem because it has been cleaned. Who will buy this Da Vinci? Museums will need a huge endowment to muster tens of millions so quickly, so billionaires are more likely candidates. Although art collectors will be eager, Monday may well go to someone who is eager to have the best of the best, says De Porche. I hope I said his name right. Noting that Bill Gates paid $30 million in 1994 for Da Vinci's Codex Leicester, a compendium of sketches and notes that accumulated the Florentines' humanistic brilliance. The Porcher says the owner of Solar Monday is a European collector. So collectors have that. Japan's Abe, ABE, wins with tough North Korean policy. He says boat shows support for military. Shows a picture of him, Shinzo Abe. In unofficial results, Abe's Conservative Liberal Democratic Party, the LDCP, and the ruling coalition won 312 seats in the 465-seat lower house of Parliament, exceeding the two-thirds majority at 310, and otherwise party have 143 seats. NHK said final results may not be tailed until Monday. Absolutely brilliant. That's the two news stories that we have here in the paper. And as you see me, or hear me, if you're watching live, maybe seeing me through our Facebook, you can watch through our vlog TV. What I'm doing now is I'm just crossing out the ones that I've read. I'm collecting and folding and putting these over a side. What I do is I cross them out, so if I see them, I know I read them, then I throw them to the side with the other paperwork that I've read. Looks like we're coming up on a break here. Another break. We're going to take our quick breaks. Folks, we'll be right back right after this. Again, welcome to the program. We're back from our break. It is going into the second half of the program now. And now is the time we welcome our Facebook, our iVlog audiences, wherever you may be hearing us. If you're listening to the archives, I must note that you can join us every week live on Facebook and iVlog. We do have a chat room on both places. If you're listening to the archives, don't forget to check out the other shows. And if you're listening to us live, don't forget to go up to our website, www.theparanormalalliance.com. You can see all the past shows and all our archive stuff. Welcome, everybody. This week we will be talking about your investigation stories. All month of November is investigation month. I realize October is Halloween, but I've been terribly busy in October. And to make it up to you folks, I'm doing it again in November to make it up for you. Okay? We have holidays coming up. 2 family holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. A lot of spiritual energy should be out and about. I see people coming into our chat room here. Welcome. Now, my history, again, of paranormal investigating is 16 years in the paranormal field. I've been an investigator, a consultant, a team leader, a team founder. I've founded 3 different teams. And now we have the Paranormal Alliance, which may make 4. My direct team, we're trying to choose a name for it. We have 2 names for it. which I don't think is wrong. I don't think it's wrong to have two names for it. We're up in the air on what we should call it. But so far, it is Parlor City Paranormal, I think. I think that's going to be the name for it. That's a direct name for the show. The direct name for the investigations that we do. And a name for us as a small group here in my area. But the main one is www.theparanormalalliance.com, which is the Alliance of Independent Paranormal Investigators. It was founded by I and a friend named Mike. Me and Mike decided that a lot of people want to investigate. Some people don't like the team atmosphere. They don't want to deal with the team atmosphere. They don't want to go on and on about having a team and all the rigmarole that goes with it and the hardships and stuff. And we wanted to be on a national level and get other people involved, like our good friend Angela and my good friend out in California. The couple out in California, they have a wonderful thing. They're going to remain anonymous right now until I get permission to fully talk about them. But he is a movie producer. And my good friend Misty Lou, who's up on the site right now, she is actually the producer of this show. The show is The Paranormal Agenda. And she has come up with a new name that we might go over into, which is The Dead Hour. I don't know. The Dead Hour is great for a name. I just think it is. And this is the second half of the program. A quick mention right now. Our good friend Angela Teresa has a psychic service. Misty Lou has a small business. And if you are out there listening to my voice, and wherever you're listening to it, and have a business and want to advertise with us, let me know. The call-in number again, 607-238-3816. The topic for calling in is your investigation stories. Have you had good times, bad times, whatever it is? So let's go down this month, in fact. The investigations that we have been doing have been all either construction related, which means somebody is building something. And they have, I guess, sparked interest in the spirits that used to be there. Or they have been something that's there, negative energy or something. And that's what we've been dealing with all month. I've had back-to-back cases almost all month. I've had back-to-back cases in September. I think we're doing well. I would really like to see on my personal paranormal team in my area psychic. But I'm lenient about a psychic. So that's where we're at with that. Also, in the news, earlier, I discussed the NBA basketball team that thinks they had a UFO hit their plane. Now, personally, I found out on our break that I cannot post those photos without permission from the news group, the NBA, which is the National Basketball Association here in the United States, and there's a lot of legal stuff. So I can't post the picture for you, but I'm going to talk about it. And the reason that I want to talk, I may save the case for a UFO show. But I'm telling you right now, whatever bird hit that plane, it can happen. I've seen engines shredded. I believe we were in Florida. Yes, we were, Orlando, Florida. A plane had taken off, and a big yellow streak of whatever. It looked like a big, huge spark, like sparklers when I was a kid, flying out of it. They circled around and had to land and get everybody off. Nobody was hurt. The plane was, obviously, the engine was ruined. But nothing else happened. No emergency procedures. And what happened was a bird flew in the engine. I imagine whatever hit that plane is no longer with us. It's dead. It's gone. I don't know if it's a UFO. I don't believe it would be a UFO because somebody would know something. Although the NBA basketball players aboard the plane, several have tweeted that they want to know what it was. They want to know the answers to it. As I fix my mic here. They want to know the answers. They want to know what's going on. Real quick, we're having a storm here. So if I have to get up or I have to make adjustments, that's why. We're having a terrible rainstorm here. It feels like sleet. I took a smoke break earlier outside to see what it was doing because I heard something hit the house. Actually, where this studio is, in my home, we have 2 windows, and one of the windows something hit it. So I went outside to see what it was, because I don't want to take any chances of getting branches or anything broken. And real quick here, I know it's off topic, but real quick, I went outside to see what it was. There was nothing, I don't know what it is, but we're having a rainstorm, so if something happens, that's why. And if you're listening to me right now, and something does happen, or the sound goes out, or whatever, we will fix it right away. What are your stories? What are your things that you have to say? I want to hear from you, the audience. And if you have a story, by the way, if you have a story and you want to submit a paranormal story to us, you can go up on our website, go to the contact page, and submit your story. We have a lot of stories up there. We're trying to collect stories. I'm always intrigued by people's paranormal story. I always am intrigued at what people have to say or believe. Now, I'm not intrigued by the fact that some people have gone through hardships, and I realize that, folks. I realize that some people have not had a good time, but the stories are always unique, and it's kind of something to study from. I guess a lot of people submit stories, and we put it up there. I will be submitting 2 more stories this week coming up. And I know if you're listening to it in the archives right now, this sounds tedious, it sounds weird that I'm saying this, but I have my Facebook and iVlog audience. My iVlog audience, welcome. You're over here if you're watching me. The Facebook is right here, and I have another one over here, and then I have my section right here. Someday I'm going to do a studio tour. Haven't gotten to it yet. But anyways, if you have a story, you want to submit it. If things are, if you have a team and you want to be put on the alliance, go ahead and send me information about your team. I'm always looking to network with people. So now that that's out of the way, we got that out of the way, swept under the rug. Let's talk about some recent things that have happening. We're saying stories about paranormal investigating today. My guest did call off again. This is the 3rd week in a row they've called off. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're joking, they're playing around, whatever they're doing. So we're going to do paranormal stories. And the first story I want to tell you is long when I first started. We did a case in Mansfield, Pennsylvania, called Fallbrook Cemetery. It is rumored to be extremely haunted. We've gotten a little bit of evidence from it. We've also taken care of the place. Every year we went and took care of the place. I'd love to get back there. And when we went there for the very first time, we were not sure of what to expect. So we got there early. And it was dusk and night. That they call it crepuscular if you want to be biological. And it's that period of time where it's fading in from dusk into the night. It's still day, somewhat light. And what I saw was somebody in the cemetery. And I stand 6'3". I'm 290 to 301 pounds. I would say about 298 right now. Then I was probably about 285. And so, of course, everybody looks at me as security. So I start walking towards it, and I realize it does not have a stomach area. It does not have a foot area where the feet would be. It's gone. It does have like a forehead, but no nose section. And I realized what I was looking at was a spirit walking. And and then all of a sudden it wasn't there. Now I'm not saying it disappeared. I'm telling you, it just wasn't there. That's my first experience in seeing a spirit that I can remember. Now, when I was a child, my mom has told me, and a cousin backed this story up, that we were in a house and visiting relatives, and somebody was there that nobody knew about. I do remember going into a house that was allegedly haunted. I have tried to find the house since then. I think it was torn down when I was a kid. My whole story of how I got into the paranormal is on the website. But I'm going to post this story up. We went into the house. It's believed to have a monster in it, maybe a vampire family or something. I don't know as a child the tales of it. And when I walked into the house, there was an odd feeling. We stayed there to visit somebody, but there was a lot of noises. The person set out a, I guess, coffee or whatever the adults were drinking for somebody that wasn't there. Till this day, I've often wondered if the house is there. I often wanted to go find it. And I'm on a new journey, a new adventure, embarking on a new thing to do, is to find this mysterious cemetery in my area as well. But this house that we went to, it gave me the vibes, weird. And I realized I was a child, and a child, when you hear stories from an older teenager and other children who make up stories or tell stories or do stuff, I realized that as a child, your mind sets to something worse than it might be. But it's just one of those things. And going back to investigating now, I think the weirdest investigation I went on was the investigation where the person had asked us all to take off our shoes. Not giving any details about it, but walking around somebody else's house in my socks. One of the investigators was barefooted. And we did capture a lot of stuff there. But that might have been the weirdest feeling one. I remember early in my career, before I started, or just after we had started a paranormal investigation group, sat down with the idea, tried to form something. I went on an investigation with somebody else. They asked me to go with them. I said sure. Meetup.com at the time. I had a meetup, and I still do. We All Search for the Paranormal is the group on Facebook that is related to our meetup here in our area. But I went with this gentleman to a case. The family refused to give up certain things. And to make a long story short, we found that the use of an Ouija board, or what they call a spirit board that they made themselves, was the cause of everything. But there we saw shadows, and as I went up the stairs, something went through me down the stairs. It made my body sweat, made my body cold, that old cold feeling and sweaty feeling you get. And then, at the bottom of the stairs, I saw this shadow go into the wall. So I walked back down the stairs. I tell the other guy I was with, hey, what I just saw, he saw it. We did an EVP session at that time, and we got 5 voices, distinct, different voices, which one of us told us that was upstairs in the attic. So after checking out the attic, which I don't like attics at all. I don't know if because I'm a tall person and I'm a big person, I don't like small areas, or maybe it's the highest point in the house and I know it. I'd rather go down in the cellar than I would an attic. But I had to go up to the attic. He didn't want to climb up there, so I climbed up there and I sat there. I knew he was here. I'm there. It was one of those stuffy back attics part. Half of it was an apartment, half of it was the attic, the storage, or whatever you want to call it, section. And as I sit there, I begin to feel something pushing me, like it is trying to sit next to me. The only description is, if you have a child Your child would come up to you and push against you, and they want to sit down and next to you on the couch or on the floor. I've always watched TV on the floor in front of the couch, sat on the floor, put my back up against the couch, and my daughter would come over and sit on my lap. But that's what it felt like. So I moved because I knew that it wasn't an animal. I knew there was no child there. I knew there was nobody else there. And what I remember distinctively is our EMF meter stayed in the red section. It didn't flash back and forth. It just stayed on red, all the way up to red. And then the other lights went off, the red light stayed on, and then the whole thing drained. Literally, our EMF meter drained. I still to this day have never seen that before. Needless to say, the investigation part, I would like to go back and finish it if I could ever could. Because it's one of those things where he made the decision that because they refused to give up their beliefs or whatever it was, and I agree, using a spirit board to contact stuff is not good. Okay? But if that was truly their religious belief or their way of life belief or what I call life's thinking, if that's your mentality of what you do in your life, then maybe, perhaps, they thought it was right to do. But I just remember it because that was the only time that I've ever had something move against me. And I've been on a lot of investigations where I felt weird. I've seen shadows, I've seen something, but I've never had something physically touch me like that. It wasn't in an evil way. But that's two of our stories, folks. Our number is 607-238-3816. Or you can go up online. If you're listening to this in our archives, you can go up online, submit your story. If you want credits, we always give credits to the people who submit stories. If you don't want to remain anonymous, we can do that as well. Folks, www.theparanormalalliance.com is my website. Of course, we have this show. If you're just joining us, I can see some people in our iVlog chat room. I do see some questions. I can get to that in a minute. If you're just joining us, we are talking about our paranormal investigation experiences, or a paranormal experience or something that you've experienced. But we will be talking about investigating this month, so I figured, in my case, it would be my investigation stories. So, in the iVlog chat room, I have two questions. One question is, have I ever encountered something that I could not handle? I don't know. I am not one to provoke a spirit or an entity or an energy. I'm not one to cause it to want to do something to me. I have been involved with other investigators on joint investigations or public investigations where the public does come and investigate. Other investigators who have done this. To remember, one of them was at the Sullivans up in Buffalo. Another one was a hotel-type historical place. Another one was a park. It was a historical park. I do have these on my website as well. We're trying to get more things on our website of what I've done, because a lot of people are interested in where have I investigated, what I found. We're trying to get the history of my history up there, as well as other investigators' histories. But no, I don't think I've ever encountered something I couldn't handle. I'm always cautious about it. I always know my limits. I always know my protocol, if you will. I always know what I can handle, what I can do, what I can't do. If that answers your question. And the next one is, have I ever seen a spooky spirit? I don't know what you mean by that. That I've only had one time that I've ever seen that one spirit. I have felt numerous ones. I've seen numerous shadows. I've seen demonic entities. I've seen demons. I've seen people be victims of these things, including one of my very personal friends on an investigation. I guess if you would say something that I couldn't handle, a scary moment, okay, would be seeing my friend act the way he did and me counting in my head ready to stop it, knowing that he wants me to continue. We always made a deal with each other when we investigated, or when we do investigate, that if something happens, you let it happen, it's evidence. He always knew I was a big guy. He always knew I can handle myself. I always knew he could handle himself. But this one time, I had to cut it. I grabbed him by the shirt, literally by the neck area of your shirt, your collar, so to speak. And I pulled him out of the chair and continued walking with him. And he finally came to what I call a normal state, a normal consciousness, being him looking at me, asking, what am I doing? I explained what happened. I explained how his eyes changed a weird color. I don't know if it was a coloring, or if his eyes were changing, or if it was something else. I think that was the only time in my entire life. And I only think this. The only reason I truly think of this is because he is a personal friend. I think it got to me a little more than it would be if it was somebody else. Now, I would have done the same thing for anybody else. I would have called it. I would have pulled them. I would have made sure they're all right. But because he's a personal friend, it's a little different. But that was a moment where it might have been something that I might not have been able to handle. I could have risked my own being, my own life, my own force, my own soul, my own energy, whatever you will. I could have risked having it taken out of me, it transferring to me. And for my friend, or for anybody I would do this for, I would want it to happen to me rather than happen to somebody else. But being a personal friend, it's a little more, it's like your own child in Walmart falling down rather than some other child. You don't want to see a child fall down. You don't want to see somebody hurt. But if it's your own, it's a little more feelings behind it. Welcome our new Facebook audience that is just coming in, and our iVlog audience. Another question on iVlog. Have I ever seen something that I refused? What do you mean by that? Oh, have I ever done an investigation that I've refused to do? No, I've never refused an investigation. I believe that the person or the client or whoever is asking for it, the client, we call them clients, whoever is asking for this, they are asking for a reason. They're not just wanting to have a paranormal investigation in their house. Almost 90% of the people that I have worked with have wanted something because they were harmed, they were hurt, they weren't feeling right, they were experiencing stuff they couldn't handle. The other 10% were looking for support. That basically 100% of them were looking for support. But it was the kind of support where somebody could say, yes, you're right, you're okay, you're not nuts, and that kind of stuff. The other 90% actually had stuff going on, and they really needed us. I've always said it's like a fireman job. I am ready to go at the door. I have a bag packed. I have my equipment where I can grab it. And I am somebody's rescuer. I am the rescue crew. A lot of times I am the counselor. I am the person that's the understanding. I am the person that is, I don't know what you want to call it, the go-to person, the one that's got the answers. I guess that's what you would call it. I have the book of answers. And I don't mind that, because I realize that people go through stuff, they experience stuff, they have stuff going on in their lives. They have extreme amounts of stuff going on in their lives. And for the most part, it's something that they have to know that it's okay. They have to have somebody there to understand, to help, to manage, to be ear to hear what they have, to be a mouth for them to speak. I mean, the last two cases I've been on, I've had to tell something. An entity. I don't believe the last one was evil. One of them is. We may have to go back. But anyways, I've had to speak to something that wasn't there, that I could not visually see, and tell it, hey, this is what you have to do so this person feels okay. Two other investigations this month have been where I've had to bless a home. One of them was where I had to give them a plan so that they could get their lives back together after something had happened. And another investigation team was involved in that, and I didn't mind working with them. I thought that was wonderful. We've all come up with a plan for the person. I don't mind working with other people. I don't mind consulting. I don't call it para-unity. I do not call it para-unity. I just never liked that word unity. I more call it networking. It's probably the same thing. If you're out there and you know what unity is, and you know what networking is, it's the same thing. It's going up on a little break here. We're going into one of our breaks, our mandatory break. We have to take this break. So real quickly, our number is 607-238-3816 if you want to be on the program with us tonight. Also, you can check our website, www.theparanormalalliance.com. Do not forget to check out everything we have there. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube. Friend us on Facebook. Friend us on Twitter. Join our group. We all search for the paranormal on Facebook. It's a great group to join. Folks, we'll be right back right after this. And welcome back, folks. We have a question in our iVlog. We're going to start off with that real quick. What do I call a dangerous investigation? Very good question. Something where somebody has been harmed badly, either physically, mentally. I call mentally is emotionally, mind-wise, their thinking. Their life has changed because of something that has affected their consciousness. Maybe they've been possessed. Their thinking's not good. They're off on how they're calculating life and doing things because of the way that the mind is working, I guess you would say. So it's either through the mind, through the body, or the atmosphere. And what I meant is atmosphere is environment, and atmosphere are the same thing. I just call it atmosphere. It's your location, where you are, your home, your business. What I'd call dangerous is these things are being affected. But the environment can be affected, and it might not be that dangerous. But if you're being affected, or the client, as we call the person we help, is being affected, then we must, we must immediately, and your question is, what do we do about this? We must immediately take action. We must try to make sure they're safe. We must try to make sure their priority of what they're doing, and they might be doing something they're not aware of, is causing it to get worse. For instance, if somebody's remodeling, we try to let them know that something may be about, so they don't damage things or if they find something. A lot of people find stuff and throw it out, or they get rid of it, when maybe what they could have done is saved it and put it somewhere. I know one of the clients we had, her father was doing remodeling, and he had a box in the cellar of the stuff that he found. He found a doll, I think some other toys. He found a hammer, and he found some books. and a picture. And he put it in a box and put it in a cellar. And what we found out was that they would have to get rid of that. What we did was we gave it to a neighbor who knew the family that had moved. And hopefully that neighbor would have given it to the family. I don't know. There's times that I know some things can make it dangerous. If the person is messing with witchcraft. Now, I hate using the word witchcraft, but I'm going to because we're listening to a general audience here. Witchcraft, evil stuff, unpopulated or unpopular belief systems that can all mess with a investigation or property. It can mess with somebody, and we like to make sure that the client is safe from that. Now, if it's physical, I have been known to tell something that it cannot harm anybody. Wherever it is, it has to stay there. I have quarantined a demonic spirit in a room, and then we blessed the house as well as the room. The thing never returned, but I made sure it was in that room. We locked that room until we came back for the blessing of the house and the clearing. It oftentimes you see things that is considered dangerous to somebody and it's not to another. And I'll give you a good example. You go out into a field with a bull, which is a male cow for everybody that's wondering. Let's say there's a black Angus bull in the field. If I and you, I don't know if anybody owns a farm that's listening, but me personally, I'm not going to go in the field with a black Angus bull. Okay, I've heard stories, I've seen things, heard other tales and legends and whatever you will, that bulls will hurt you. They don't care. And so therefore I'm not going in a field with a black Angus. Although the farmer here, it would be dangerous for me to go in the field. The farmer, however, is going to go in the field. He's going to go talk to the bull. He's going to go manage the other cows. He's going to do whatever he has to do. That's just like this in the paranormal field for me. Where somebody normally out there is not going to want to do what I do. They don't want to go in there. They don't want to face it. They don't want to go in the same property as it. They don't want to go in the same room. They don't want to go in the same, whatever it is. The basement, the attic, the field, the park, wherever it is. But me, or other people that are in this field, we do that. Just like the farmer goes into his field with the black Angus bull, we go in there where these things are. And so what's dangerous to me, and what's dangerous to us, and what is not dangerous to us, and what is not considered threatening to us, might be totally different to you. Because you would say it's threatening, we wouldn't. Or I would say it's threatening, and somebody else may say it's not. I have a lot of training and a lot of experience dealing with certain kinds of things. So for me, it's not dangerous because I know what to do. Now, I've had some cases where I've said, look, this is not good. I'm not going to do this until I'm backed up. My good friend Lauren is bigger than I am. He's almost 400 pounds. He stands 6 foot. Nothing is going to mess with him. And it did. It pushed him. Literally, he was standing there. He banged against the wall and said something pushed him. And now I saw it. The room became hazy. It was kind of like a hot day when you're breathing. So my breathing was off. Our breathing was off. We felt tired. But we knew we had to pond through it. We did what we had to do. We did the blessing. We did the investigation. We made sure that the client was okay. We do follow-ups as well. So we followed up with them, and everything is fine now. But for a normal person like yourself, when you say what is dangerous and what investigations are dangerous or what do we consider threatening, to you that would be absolutely threatening. That would be absolutely, a no-go in that area. No-go, whatever that would be a no-go. But we had to do it. And I'm very pleased that we did it. We helped somebody. And that's why I initially got into this field and got further and done the things I've done and established the services that I've established for people is because I want to help them. I want to make sure that people are okay. It's a service industry. A lot of people don't understand it, but it's a service industry as well as a science industry, as well as a mystery industry, religious or whatever other belief systems come into it as well. All right, let's again welcome our Facebook audience, our iVlog TV audience. I hope that answered your question. If you want to join us on iVlog and Facebook every week, we do have a live session. We're working on getting YouTube as well. Remember this, if you're listening to the archives, you can tune in every week. You can go up to our website, www.theparanormalalliance.com, listen to other archives of shows. We have another question. Okay, it's a psychic question here. I can do that later for you if you want. I can try to. I'm not a full psychic. I do tarot and crystal ball, but I don't really do the other psychic services. I wish I could. I wish somebody would teach me how, or that I had the gift. But I will try to answer your question later. If you can message me on Facebook or send an email to me, I will try to answer that question. Let's go to the other question here. The other question iVlog is, I'm reading your question here, and I think what you're asking me, has there been any case that I've given up on? No. There has been other cases where I felt like I didn't know where I wanted to go with them. But I've never given up on any cases. Never given up on a client. A lot of clients we have done the investigation. We give them the evidence. We always give them the results of our investigation, whether they found something or not. I've had some clients when we've not found a lot of stuff, kind of, if you will, complain that we didn't get a lot for them. But sometimes you can't. I've been on investigations where I've gone 3 times and we got very little. And then again, I've gone on cases where I've gone once and I got a lot. And a lot of times if you go once, whatever's happening there isn't happening at that time, or it's quiet. And I describe it as if you saw a lot of people in your house, you'd be quiet. You would try to find out what they're doing, if they're walking around, or maybe the energy is not right, or whatever it would be, and you would respond to it. Same thing for the spirits. Energy isn't right. They don't like it. They don't want to come out. They don't want to be bothered with what you're doing. They don't understand. Maybe they're in another time period, and they don't understand what you're doing. I've had investigations like that as well, where we would tell them to touch the EMF meter, have a session of EVP with an EMF meter and stuff, and we told them the green light, and I don't think the spirit understood. It was a 1800 spirit that was there, and then there was a little girl spirit there. I don't think it understood what we were trying to do, to be honest with you. I've been on a few investigations like that. But that's what you get in this field. That's what you get. But to answer the full question and get back to what you said on giving up, no, I've never given up on any investigation case. I've never given up on a client. Either I will refer them to somebody, or now on the Alliance, we have other people that specialize in different fields. There's always somebody that we can have help them. So no. Again, www.paranormalalliance.com is our website. Our phone number tonight is 607-238-3816. If you want to submit a story, you can go up to our contact page. Again, the site is www.theparanormalalliance.com. Tonight's topic is your investigation stories, or whatever you want to talk about. During the news session, we had the NBA plane that was hit by a UFO. We were also talking about Taylor Swift's new album that's coming out. I think it's November 10th. Her album is coming out. She's a great singer. I don't know if I like country or not, like I said earlier. We also talked about McDonald's having those automated menu systems. Anything is up for topic. Today's guest, again, called off. I don't understand why they're calling off. But they do. And they call off last minute. It's morning now, but it was late yesterday morning that they said they just can't make it. Something came up. I don't know if they're playing games or what they're doing. I don't understand what's going on with that kind of stuff. But we have a few people here in our Facebook. Welcome. We have a few people on our iVlog. Welcome. We're coming up on another break. And this is a quick break. So we have to take another break. So we'll be right back right after this. Alright, folks, coming off the break a little longer than what we expected. I do apologize for the long break, but remember, if you want information about advertising, go up to our website, www.theparanormalalliance.com. See our show section. Let us know you're interested. Let us know you have a small business. Let us know that you have a paranormal group. Let us know about an event that's coming up. www.theparanormalalliance.com is our website. The paranormal group is the Parlor City Paranormal. Our alliance is the Alliance of Independent Paranormal Investigators. Remember, folks, if you have a paranormal team or you are a psychic, you can, for free, we will post you up there in our network database. There's also sites up there that we've investigated. It's a great site. Check it out. Again, www.theparanormalalliance. What we were talking about earlier was investigations. And somebody in the iVlog chat room brought up a very good point. What I was talking about dangerous situations. Have I ever had to protect? And we do, yes. The answer to your question, have I ever had to, we always do. I made sure I'm protected. The investigators make sure they're protected. Now, each one has a different way of doing it. Some do it a spiritual way. Some do it based on a belief system. I do it basically by asking God to protect me. I also do it by I'm careful to tell the spirits they cannot come with us. They have to go somewhere else. I make sure that I am blessed. I am what they call sanctified when I go to an investigation, when I do a blessing, when we do a clearing. It's all part of what we do and how we do it. A lot of people also ask a lot of times if I know... camera's falling down here. If I know how to position stuff, and I do. I do have training. I do have networked with people. I've worked with people. I know what I'm doing. I know a lot of information about stuff. So I try to use that information and the training and the knowledge and the experience to be safe. I don't know if you would call it protecting myself. I don't like the word protection because that means I'm surrounded in some kind of bubble. It's really making sure I'm safe. Making sure the environment's a safe work environment. Making sure it's okay to be there. Make sure it's okay to do what we're doing. I don't necessarily like that word protection because then it sounds like I can't do my job. I can't do the investigation. I can't structure it. I can't. But for everybody else out there, the word protection means that I'm safe. It means that I'm guarded, if you would. I'm guarded from anything wrong happening. And it's a good knowledge that I have that. So, 607-238-3816. Let's see if the phones are working. They are working tonight. Or early this morning. Or wherever you are. Whatever time it is. So call in with your questions. Don't forget to share us. Don't forget to go up to Facebook and our YouTube and check out what we have for you there as well. And whatnot. Let's go back to some of the stories. We're sharing stories with people. And in the chat room, somebody asked, is there any story that I can remember that of a dangerous situation? I don't know why you guys keep asking all the fun frills of the dangerous stuff. I've been a lot of times in danger. I've been a lot of times in, I don't know if you will, danger, but, you know, when the air is cold and your body is feeling abnormal, or you're going into a place not knowing what's going to happen because the story is of demonic entities, or perhaps the person is not feeling the greatest. You're investigating. You've never met these people before. Sometimes it is you don't have time for a walkthrough. Recently that's happened. 3 of our investigations have not had a walkthrough. They've been out of town. We went out, we investigated. So that's a lot of what goes on. A lot of also what goes on is, you know, draining of equipment. Recently, our flashlights were having problems. So we were left in the dark in a cellar. We were left in the dark in a area of the house where it wasn't, some things did happen. And then history of the house, some things have happened there. So it wasn't like it would have happened. It wasn't like it could have been safe. It was almost as if we knew what we were going into was not 100% ideal. But, you know, it's part of the business. I keep emphasizing that it's part of the business. It's part of what we do. I know it. The other investigators know it. And we do it because we want to help. I don't think it's ever been a hobby for me. Somebody in iVlog TV chat room just said, what about hobbyists? Well, if you do this for a hobby, that's fine. But I don't. I almost do it for a living. Now, I don't charge. I've never charged. We do accept donations. But we don't emphasize it. My job is to make sure they're safe. Make sure the person is okay. Make sure what's going on is tended to. We have a plan. We investigate. We either clear it or help it so that the situation is taken care of. Whatever needs to be done based on our evidence. And then we follow up. We make sure the person is okay. If anything needs to be more done, we do it for them. Somebody in the iVlog TV chat room just said they heard noises. Yes, I do have a window open, even though it's raining, for air. and you can hear some of the traffic. I do live in a house here, apartment house-like thing, so I don't know. Maybe it was a neighbor. But if you do hear noises or see something in a video, let me know. I may not be aware of it. I may not be paying attention. I can always go through the audio again. And when I go through the audio, I can always check out to see if something was there. That's about all I can do. But be serious and honest about it. Don't tell me there's something in there and there's not. You know what I mean? Anyways, off to these stories on paranormal here. So, somebody in the iVlog chat room said, what's the difference between supernatural and the paranormal? Which is another good question. Supernatural is, I always see it as miracles, biological, science-based stuff that you can, say is real and say happened and say that it's truthful. The paranormal, and para meaning aside and adjacent to paranormal, cannot always be proven by science. Yes, we in this field know it's real, but the mainstream, everyday science community is not going to agree with us. They're going to say it's not real, we have no proof, we have this, we don't have that, we need this, we need that. I've been doing this for years. I first got in this business to prove that this stuff exists and throw it in somebody's face and say, it exists, it's right, it's there, and you need to believe it. You need to know it's there. You need to know it's happening. You need to know it's real, and you need to know this stuff needs to be put out there. But, of course, it doesn't happen that way. So then I transitioned into something else. I noticed people were upset, people's lives were being ruined, and I went into helping people. I am now going into something where I'm helping people on another level. The church, the Christian church, has basically turned their noses at people, turned their backsides at people. So I have been in the religious area helping people with some of their needs. And a lot of people, oh, it's not evil, it's not this, it's not that. My last 5 to 7 cases have been some element of negative energy in it. Now, let's say 2 of those cases, we think it might have been environment, it might have been caused. We did discuss with the clients on some of the ways to change their lifestyle, to do certain things to change so that the draw of the negative energy is not there. The environment, the atmosphere, their surroundings, their lifestyle does not attract negative energy or demonic forces or whatever you want to call it. And we worked with them on that, and we were very successful at it. We were very successful at making sure that they were safe and that things will change in their life. And I'm happy about that. I'm not complaining. But what I'm saying is that a lot of times we see this, and I just absolutely hate when somebody says, oh, the demons don't exist. In Wicca, in Christianity, in the Muslim faith, the Catholic faith, and yes, I separated Catholic from Christian. Okay. In the atheist belief system, in the Buddhist belief system, in the free-form belief system, in the anarchy belief system. That's 8 systems I just said. They all have negative energy and demons as part of their something system. And in fact, we have done investigations for atheists, and something evil was about, and they did agree that demons exist. Well, this person did. They said they believe in demonic forces. Well, in that case, then if demons exist, that means the angels exist. That means the positive exists if negative exists, and it's just part of our life. What do you believe God's behind it? What do you believe a supernatural force is behind it? What do you believe that some magic aliens from outer space made the earth and they're behind it? Whatever it is, it exists. And there's people like myself here are now helping people with their problems. The church in my area refuses to do it. And if you're listening to my voice and you hear this and you're whining and you're crying and you're complaining that it's not true, I'm willing to network with you. I'm willing to work with you. Let's help people. Let's make people's lives better. That's basically what it is. iVlog TV chat room over here. Real quick, www.theparanormalalliance.com is our website. Our phone number for the show is 607-238-3816. It's also the phone number for our paranormal investigation group. Again, www.theparanormalalliance.com. The iVlog TV chat room is asking a question. What does faith have to do with this? And I think what you mean is, what does religion have to do with it? A lot of this stuff is religious based. I'm a Christian. I believe in a Christian way of life and a way of doing things. We have another person on the group that is in between. We have another person on the group that's Wiccan. Misty is hoodoo and a little bit of Wiccan. She's a very nice person. We've discussed some stuff on our programs. I, for one, believe that we're headed in the right direction. We're doing what we're supposed to. I think that if we could get ourselves, get more people maybe, get ourselves to get more people interested in this side of the investigation area of the world, then we would have more things and we would be doing better. But everybody has their own way of life. And we can't force people to think or do or act or whatever. We can't force a mindset, and we can't force an action on people. So we have to leave it be. I wish one of the best pet peeves or one of the complaints or one of the disasters or one of the downfalls or whatever you want to call it of this field is that the belief system is not put into a lot of things we do. Within the last 3 months, we have had a case. I cannot discuss much about it, but they asked that we did an alternative way of doing things, which we did help them. We made sure that they were okay. We made sure that they were safe. The case went very well. They're very pleased with what we did for them. You know, it's that way. But I'm the type of person that I want somebody to be happy and I want them to be pleased with what we do. I want them to know that they're safe. I want them to know what's going on. Explaining things to some people sometimes is hard, that are not in the field or clients that don't understand. But that's okay, because the rest of this world behind, I was once told it's like a hockey game. Unless you're on the other side of the plexiglass, you're not going to understand anything of what's going on. And it goes for both sides. You as a crowd or audience member or fan or whatever you call yourself are not going to understand everything that's going on that ice on the other side of the plexiglass. The players are not going to understand everything that the fan, the audience, the crowd is doing as well on the other side of their plexiglass. So, we're kind of like the hockey players here. Not everybody understands what's going on the ice and are thinking. but we're managing this very well. And we're not going to understand everything that the client or the rest of the world thinks, because they're on the other side of the plexiglass, just like the crowd, the audience, and the fans are. But together, we are an arena, and we are hockey. Okay? So if you add the fans and the crowd and the audience members together with the hockey team, it's all called hockey. Okay? Just like in a paranormal, if you add the clients, the outside world, the fans, the people that are interested, us investigators, the psychics, the people that we work with in this field, it's all one big called the paranormal. Okay? I don't know if I answered your question very well there on iVlog or not. I did? Okay, cool. And if you're listening to us in our archives, www.theparanormalalliance.com, we have links to our YouTube, we have links to our Facebook, we have links to our Twitter. I'm trying to impose links from our iVlog TV chat room, links to our YouTube when we do live shows there, and links to our Facebook. If you're a part of our Facebook, we all search for the paranormal. Again, we all search for the paranormal is the Facebook group. That's the group that you can go up to and get information about what we're doing. That is the group that we have our fans on. We have our things that we're doing on. That's stuff that we're doing and managing on Facebook, and it tells what we're doing in the community, what's going on. If you want to check out our an Alliance of Independent Paranormal Investigators on Facebook as well, that is our group site. That also says some information for you. Again, www.theparanormalalliance.com is our website. The phones have not been on tonight. A lot of people haven't been calling in. Maybe it is a listen night. Maybe you want to listen to the show. Maybe you don't want to call in, but that's okay. That is okay, because we don't mind that at all. Last week, we did have a lot of people call in, screaming at the phone, swear, use inappropriate language. So it's nice to have a clean phone time. Hopefully I haven't spoken early, as they say. And hopefully I haven't spoken out of character where somebody is now going to call in screaming at the phone and act funny. Because that would be inappropriate. That would be unacceptable, probably. I do see that our Facebook chat room does have a few more people. We'd like to welcome them. As always, our iBlog TV chat room is doing well. I also see that it is time to take one more break, and then we're going to wind it down to the end of our program today. We're trying for a 2-hour program. I don't know if we're going to get there. We'd like to do 3 hours. If you're listening to the archives and you say, hey, this show's short, I didn't hear any ads, the ads play on iVlog and sometimes on Facebook. Sometimes YouTube will let us have it, sometimes we're not. We are doing our own ads now. We are in charge of doing the ads. We voice the ads. We put them together. So it is our work. So YouTube has not had a problem with it. Well, that said, we have to go on this break. www.theparanormalalliance.com is our website. Phone number 607-238-3816. We'll be right back. I don't know, buzzing, electrical noises. I know it's not my phone. Anyways, we have another caller here. Let's see if I can get this other call in. Caller, hello. Alright, I have no idea and apologize for that call. Sounded like somebody was in a bathroom. Is that the toilet flusher? Hey, toilet flusher, was that you? I say toilet flusher because every show we have, somebody flushes the toilet. They call in and then they flush the toilet. And with that being said, we're winding down our show here today. We've discussed paranormal investigations. We've only had 2 callers. We did a live Facebook thing, a live where you got to see me. iVlog TV, you guys have been excellent in the chat room there. All of this month, it is November 2017, and all of this month we're going to be doing paranormal investigation topic. This week was talking about investigations. Some people had some questions in the iVlog TV chat room. Our Facebook audience, I will be helping that one person who asked the question. I'm going to try to see if I can refer her to one of our psychics. It worries me that person has that complaint, but that's okay. Our audio, a lot of people say our show is not that very long. If you add up the commercial breaks that sometimes we're not allowed to play on YouTube, we are now, because we're doing our own commercial breaks. We're doing our own commercials. We're making the commercials. We're doing them now, so they can be put on YouTube. They can be put on our archives. They can be put anywhere we put them because they're our material. Before somebody else did them or they were made, so we cannot always do that. But we can now do that. So if you want to have your commercial here, if you want to have your business or your paranormal team or whatever you have going on, send us an email, www.theparanormalalliance.com. We'll be glad to put you on. And don't worry if about pricing or our packages or whatever. We're not like that. We can work out whatever we need to with you. If you're a paranormal team, as always, you're always welcome to send us some information about what's going on. We love to network with you. Or it's unity, or networking, whatever you call it. We love working with you. We love hearing from you. We love other investigation groups that are out there. We love doing things with them. We love having them involved in what we're doing as well. So, folks, this whole month we're talking about investigating. I am glad you tuned into the show this week. I apologize for those 2 callers. The only 2 callers, and I have a feeling the last caller was the toilet flusher. I do have a feeling about that. Or maybe the first one. Every show, no matter if we have a caller or not, always somebody calls in and flushes the toilet. We're not sure who it is. Maybe the first one was him trying to get through, or her. I have a feeling it's a woman that calls in and flushes the toilet. But I'm not sure about that. I really can't say who it is or what it is. But, folks, all this week is paranormal investigating topics. So I will see you next week. Again, if you want to tune in, iblogtv.com, our chat room, Paranormal Agenda, our Facebook. You can join our Facebook. Be involved in it. Go up on YouTube, Twitter, friend us, like us, subscribe. www.theparanormalalliance.com is our website. We'll see you next time.